What's going on, y'all? It's me, Ricky Dominguez, and I'm back like I never left. Right? It's a good day. I've been having a couple of things go on lately, but I hope y'all digging the new scenery. I got a little decent, little light, a little better setup, something to kind of aid me in the visual department. You know what I'm saying? But today I wanted to talk about mediocrity. Mediocrity. Doing things mediocre. And one of the things that pains me the most, and I've become this way to identify mediocrity. I wasn't always as honed in and focused in on it as I am now. But what aches me to my soul is mediocrity. On Friday, I had a blowout doing this freezing snow part of Chicago. I'm on my way home from work and I got a blowout. And I pulled over rather easily. The tire pressure went down unusually quick, but it was a smooth little pullover. It was one of them things like 30, 20, 10, pull over immediately. You know what I'm saying? So I pulled over to the left. I ended up waiting out there for about 3 hours on roadside assistance or what have you. That's, neither here or there. But when I talk about mediocrity, I'm talking about the dealership in which I had to bring my car to. And it's just not this dealership. It's people that I run into at the post office. It's people that you work with. It's ourselves a lot of the times. We this mundane way that we go about doing life. And I get to the dealership and how it has always been with mechanics. And I try to swallow it, but I just can't swallow it. I just can't understand for the life of me why you can't pick up the phone and just give an update. To me, that's mediocre. That's mediocre service. That's not a spirit of excellence. So at this dealership, I drop it off on Friday. I understand there's a snowstorm, there's cold, there might be a holdup in the process. Okay, I accept that. Well, Monday comes and I get no call. I call back 2 times that day, no call. Nobody says anything. Well, I decide I'm not going to ride up there because obviously it's not done. I know that businesses will, when they done, they going to let you know because they want their money. So I'm knowing they're not done. Well, mind you, I'm not going to work in this time because I have no car. But I got time off, no big deal. I'm communicating in the way that I should to let the people know that, hey, I won't be at work. Well, Tuesday comes and I still hear nothing from the dealership. I'm even a little bit more tempted to go up to the job, but I say, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna waste my gas or my time. Ricky, there's no need to go up there and, waste your time, basically, right? So I didn't get no call. I let my job know, I can't make it in. I ain't got no car, And I know it looks like, a car, a tire is keeping you out of work. But that's another story. But I can see what that's looking like, and that's fine. Well, today is Wednesday, and I finally get a call from the Toyota dealership, and they're telling me that, they lost my paperwork. Right? They lost my paperwork. And, I don't say much because I'm over it. I just want to get my car, and I'm hoping this will be a smooth process. So I decide to call them back. Let me make a payment over the phone so that I can come up there in my leisure in the time that's good for me and pick up the car. Lo and behold, they try to transfer me to the cashier. They end up transferring me back to the very same person that I talked to initially. And then when I finally talk to somebody else, they're telling me that that's not the right person. Just all of this mediocre stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I don't got time for. And what I'm here to say is, ultimately, I believe that all of this mediocre activity that we see in the world stems from one thing and one thing only. If you don't hear nothing else, hear this. That if you're not in your lane of passion, then you gonna walk through life and give off this mundane, mediocre vibe, this attitude. If you don't care or you're not excited or anticipating what you're doing every day, then you stand a chance to be mediocre. A lot of people need that, need to be in the lane that they should be in order to operate at their highest level. A lot of people don't understand that you should do anything how you do everything. So in turn, we get these mediocre performances, these lackluster performances that at McDonald's, although you're expecting, because you gave your money for a product, you're expecting hot fries and you're expecting your sandwich to be stacked the way the picture shows, right? But that's not what you get because you have mediocre people providing the service in a lane that they're not really built for. They're trespassing. They're in a lane that they shouldn't be. They're in a place where they shouldn't be at all. So I'm here to say, man, that we really need to get in tune with God and understand and be willing to work towards what it is that we were put here for. It's affecting us in all areas of our lives. It's affecting us in each and every area of our lives. If you don't have an understanding to say, hey, you know what, this job that I'm at right now is preparing me for what my work is, what I'm supposed to be becoming, and I'm going to take each and every day as serious as possible, then we're going to continue to get these mediocre results, right? And mediocrity just burns me to my soul. Like nothing, a spirit of, I really can't say when it really started irritating me, but I notice it now. I notice it now that I've learned more about management and I'm into my craft, something that I walked into. I do sanitation. I'm a supervisor now, and I understand there's a process. Even in my own downtime, I'm reading up. I'm trying to get better at what it is I'm doing. Even though I potentially will not be at this job forever, but while I'm here, I'm going to do it to my highest level. Right? And I'm so glad I'm the person that I am. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm saying that we as a people need to put that focus, that clarity, which 2024 has been declared the year of clear and focused passion. We need to stop wasting time on things that are good but not right, because that puts us in this mediocre area, this gray area where you're not really enthusiastic. You're not really executing. When you should be executing, you just around here just lollipopping through life, if you will. And you'll never get what you're supposed to get doing that. In fact, you'll get fired or get into a position where you should even been. Before you know it, you've rocked your own self to sleep and you no longer are showing up to work. You have to have something inside you that's driving you, that's letting you know, hey, this is only a step. This is not what I seen. So this is temporary. So I'm going to continue to put forth my first effort. Number one, the first and foremost is God's word. And he says that you work for him. Why do I say that? Because he said that he's the one who promotes. Promotion doesn't come from the north, south, east, or the west. He judgeth. He's the only judge. He setteth one up and he sitteth one down. So while you're given these what we call mundane jobs, you may be working at Dunkin' Donuts, working at the Goodwill place, Jewel, Walmart. These are jobs that prepare you. These are jobs that prepare you. When I think about Adam in the garden, and I asked, as I was reading, I said, God wants he wants Adam to become who he's supposed to be, but he put him to keep and dress a garden. And what I was told and what dawned on me is that, Ricky, within any job, there are principles that need to be learned, like being on time, working hard. There are truths woven in every area of life that run consistent no matter wherever you go. Like you can learn things, you can learn integrity, you can learn consistency, being on time. There are things that you can learn in the most simplest forms of life that you will need to carry on you to whatever job that you go to. Like punctuality. Holding people accountable, holding yourself accountable. When I go to work now, preparation, speaking, holding meetings, teaching. These are things that can be used in each and every endeavor in life. Communication is so important. And a lot of communication is nonverbal. If you show up, the way you dress when you come to work, your attitude when you come to work, all of that matters. And not only does it matter, it rubs off on people, especially being a leader. And everybody has been created to be a leader. So to look at something that you're doing as if it's beneath you or if it doesn't require your focused and clear passion would be a huge mistake. And once again, that's how we get these mediocre outputs. I go to the post office. When I first moved here to Chicago, I go to the post office. Lo and behold, I'm not ready. I'm not ready because I'm from lollipop suburb land. I'm in Plainfield. I've been dealing in Naperville, Plainfield. I'm out there in the land of candy canes, if you will. Then I get to Chicago where there's a tougher essence. You got to have a thicker skin. I go into the post office and I'm thinking I didn't put my address on my mailbox. cardinal sin from what I'm finding out. They just skip you over like, hey, that's on you, you're bad. But I'm not understanding that. I just moved here. Come on, let me get my package. Well, I walk up to the lady in line, and she's so used to dealing with people so bluntly, she's just giving, of course, a mediocre performance because she's trespassing. When I say trespassing, she's in a lane that she shouldn't be. She's giving us a mediocre, mundane performance because she has no passion. It's not a clear and focused passion on what she's doing. I'm for sure in knowing that that's not the lane she was supposed to be in, because had she been in the lane that she was supposed to be in, it wouldn't matter the environment, it wouldn't matter where she was, because she would be acting out of enthusiasm, acting out of the joy that was set before her. You know, there would be a gift inside of her that would be coming out, and you would be like, damn, all of the world chaos is breaking all around her. People are approaching her with attitudes, but yet and still, she got this peace. She's handling everything so effortlessly because that's her lane. She's not trespassing. This is what she does. She's not new to this. She's true to this. You understand what I'm saying? But in turn, I get this attitude, this I'm burnt out. I'm tired of asking the same questions. This mediocre performance. Mediocrity. Doing things at a normal rate, at a normal level. Nowadays, you will not get ahead in this world that we have now, being mediocre or average. Even when you look around at the relationship scene, as a man, mediocrity will get you nothing that you want. You'll end up settling. And that's what you see a lot around us, not just in relationships, but in jobs. People have settled, this mundane thinking, because ultimately, we are in lanes that we shouldn't be. We haven't sought after God for our purpose and our potential, and therefore we're living these lackluster, lukewarm, spit you out of my mouth lives, right? And it burns me up, and I can see why. I can see why people do it, but do they see why? And do they note that their life is in a rut? That they need to lift the ceiling? That it's just not okay to lollipop through life. That was never the goal. That was never what you were created for, to just mundanely frolic through life. I don't think nobody enjoys seeing someone or is attracted to someone who frolics through life. The people that we watch on TV, they don't frolic through life. The reason why you're watching them on TV is because they move with an excellence. They move with a purpose. Why do you think you're attracted to them? It's their discipline level. It's their focus. That's what's got them there. That set them apart. Even I can assure you that whatever they did it in such a way that it was noticeable on whatever level they were. If they were flipping fries, you best believe when you pulled up to that register, to that drive-through, them fries was piping hot and was salted just right. Right? It's them people that when you pull up at Chick-fil-A, you like, my bad, can I do this? And they like, my pleasure. And they not just saying my pleasure because you've heard my pleasure before, but that one person, when they say my pleasure, and you can feel it that they meant it, it make you smile coming around the corner, whether you messed up on those type of people, right? That spirit of excellence that you can notice that there's no mediocrity allowed. And it shouldn't be allowed. I just want to bring attention to that. Mediocrity should not be accepted on any level, but it is all around us. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm not saying that I always was like this, because I know that I've had opportunities in my life to be great and I pushed it to the side. Well, right now, that's not the time. And I want to bring attention to it. If you can catch it early and understand that how you do anything is how you do everything, you will be a cut above. You'll be a slice above. And that's what you need to be in order to live the life that you want to live. And in order to be like that, you have to be seeking and searching for something that's further than you, further than what you think that you can be. Every level that you get to, you need to be striving for the next level. Don't care about what people are saying. Resting, you just made it to this level. You need to relax. You need to calm down. Won't you enjoy where you are? Why don't you enjoy where you are? And I'm going to continue to do me how I do me. Excellence. Striving to be better in every area of my life. Not playing no games. Not accepting mediocrity. Not accepting mediocre attitudes towards myself. And not accepting it out of myself. You know, I'm not going to get comfortable. Why would I get comfortable? Right? You know, I used to say, man, it would be nice to get rich and just not have to do anything and just lay up somewhere and have my needs met. But when I begin to learn and grow in wisdom, I begin to understand that that's not the goal. Like, you should be working to the day you die. And I'm not talking about a job. I'm talking about your work, doing the very thing that you were put here for. The minute you are finished is the minute that you are finished, right? So there shouldn't be oh, I'm going to get this and this and I'm not going to do anything. You'll never get this and this and not do anything. Why would you? Who would give you that? Who would give you rest and peace in that? You'll be tormented. You'll be tormented. You'll get to the end and think that you excelled, think that you climbed the ladder, only to find out you went up the wrong ladder. You climbed the wrong building. So I don't want to get too far off. What I'm talking about is mediocrity. Like, staying in your lane, doing the thing that you're passionate about so you don't encounter this mediocre life, this mediocre attitude, this mediocre energy. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to come into acquaintance with. I don't want to be in the same room as, because it's something that it incites a fury in me. And I look back at it and I'm like, man, it just reminds me, Rick, don't ever be like that. Don't ever be the person that's mediocre in his job. I can see you having a mediocre day. But this shouldn't be a lifestyle. If you're having a mediocre, you need to abort mission, and you need to find what it is that lights your fire, what it is that you need to be doing, what it is that challenges you each and every day. And if wherever you are, like I said, no matter what job you're working, if you're a janitor, to a flight attendant, to a airplane pilot, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to come to work. You need to bring it each and every day. Even if you're your own boss, personal trainer, driving trucks, you need to bring this spirit of excellence each and every day. We don't have time. The world does not care about average or mediocre people. You will not get ahead. But hey, I know everybody's not trying to get ahead. Some people are okay with being mediocre and being average and being bums. I hate to say it, they're bums, right? Some people are like that. But like I hear Andrew Tate say, okay, I need somebody to flip my fries. I need somebody to make my cheeseburger, right? I want a Happy Meal every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I need my car washed every now and then. That should never, listen, that's not what you were created for. And I'm going to say that. And I'm going to leave it like that. That's not what you were created for. You don't have all of these gifts and all of this talent and all of this beautiful structure and made in the image and the likeness of God to get out here and be mediocre. That's not even your spiritual nature. That's not your moral character. You're a creator. You're a lover, right? Your function, you speak things into existence. That's powerful. You're a ruler. You think you're supposed to be out here living mediocre? No, you missed the whole boat. You missed the bus if you out here moving like that, right? So this mediocrity, everywhere I go is just mediocre efforts, and a lot of people get rocked to sleep. They've been in a position so long that they just mundanely, like I say, frolic through this life. And now we're a recipient because you chose to stay stagnant, because you chose not to self-develop, because you chose not to spend time with God and in turn know him and in turn know you and know your worth and know that you can do more, that you don't have to settle for this, that you can go here and God will still be with you. You don't have to accept what it is that they're giving to you. Mediocrity is the enemy. Never forget that. Mediocrity is the enemy. You need to find something that's in front of you that's going to push you. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross and despised the shame. And now he sits at the right hand of God. That's Jesus, our standard I'm talking about. For the joy, what is your joy that's set before you? Like, what is that thing that you want that's haunting you that you can't get away from? Like, that's the thing that's got to push you. It can't be, sit down, take some time, take time off from life and really give yourself a run over. Think about what it is that you really want out of life. And how do you go about getting that in the most upstanding, God-inspired way? Seek God. I know it's hard for me to say seek God. He's like, what is seek God? I've been trying to seek God. Yeah, that's a whole nother video. But for the joy that was set before him, he endured. That's a huge thing to say. For the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. We can just stop right there to endure the cross. The cross is a sign of torment. You have people wearing it on their chest, a cross. It's not a pretty thing. He endured torment. And in the days of the Roman times, part of this enduring the cross, let me give this to you. Part of enduring the cross is, first of all, the first step is psychological. They have you waiting in a day or a week knowing that you're about to get nailed on the cross. So you're psychologically broke down, right? Prior to just anticipating what you're about to go through. And then once the day comes and you're mentally taxed and mentally tortured, then you're whipped. You're whipped with a whip. A scourge is what they call a scourge. A scourge, a scourge, where they put these little metal pieces on the end of this whip, and it's designed to catch your skin and pull it. So they beat you. After they've psychologically whooped you, they beat you until you're unrecognizable in the back. It pulls up against bruises until it's bare skin. There's nothing left to be seen. Now, after they've whipped you to this degree and you're psychologically beat down, now they say, carry this cross. I want to shame you even more. Fall down carrying this cross, and you know what? Carry it to the outsides of the city, because what we're about to do to you is so gruesome that the inside of the city shouldn't see it. We're going to take you outside of the city limits. So they didn't psychologically beat you. They physically beaten you to a point where you're unrecognizable. And then they're going to make you carry this 70 to 100-pound cross to the outer limits of the city. And then when they get you to the outer limits of the city, they're going to nail you up to a cross. Right? This is what he endured for the joy that was set before him, for his passion, for the thing that he was born for. This is what you endure. This is what you go through. So there's no excuse for you not getting to that thing that you're supposed to be doing. It's worth shutting down everything. So he gets to this cross, and now he's here. You know, the reason people don't normally die from pain from being up on the cross. They die from breathing. Their lungs no longer can breathe because you're up on this cross and you're nailed. And every time you breathe, you know, you're open. So you're taking breath in with no problem, but it's getting it out when you're stretched out. Try doing this and see how much little capacity you have to breathe out. So what they do is they push up on the nail that's in between their feet, that's holding them up. They push up. They got to push up in order to exhale. And you know what the Romans did? That's why they say they broke your legs so that you can no longer push up and breathe, and now you suffocate. That's what you endure to get to. That's how it's important. That's how important it is to get to what it is that you've been called to do. You endure that thing. Nothing should turn you away from it. Nothing at all. Nothing should stop you from getting to your passion, from seeking God for it, praying about it, being honest and genuine with God, trying to hear what it is that he's telling you to do. You know, as an example, recently I was like, man, you know, I know I got a decent job, but hey, Rick, they say you gotta work. That's what the world say. You gotta work hard. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. So I said, okay, let me pick up an Amazon job. Let me go ahead and pick up a side hustle, you know, to use some of that money to pay off this debt, because we understand that the borrower is slave to the lender. I need to be free. I need to experience that peace in my life, right? So I'm doing this, and then I stumble upon, you know, a teaching God inspired, and it says that, Ricky, when you seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all these things will be added unto you. It didn't say earned. So I had to refocus everything. I said, Ricky, you need to focus on that thing that God gave you to do. You know, all of that other stuff don't matter. Let God add those things to you. Let them be magnetized to you. Let them lean towards you. Trust God. Experience his favor. Don't run yourself ragged and work all of these hours just to give it back in health bills. You're doing enough as it is. Now take that time to seek God. Seek your calling. Seek to be who it is that he called you to be. And in that regard, he'll take care of you. He'll add what it is that you need. And of course, he's been showing up. Of course, he's been showing out. So I can't be mediocre. There's nothing that I do is mediocre. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I don't count myself to have apprehended. But there's one thing I do. I'm going to keep reaching. And we all should keep reaching because there's rewards. Even as you don't reach your major reward, along the way you get so many things, so much fulfillment. You know, you get those pats on your back spiritually that let you know you're going in the right direction, little signs and symbols. Open your eyes. Mediocrity is not the way. If you found yourself rocked to sleep, you need to abort mission. You need to get back to the drawing board. But anyway, y'all, man, I just wanted to drop that in for y'all. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying, that mediocrity is the enemy. And it's all around us. And it's all part of the root of not being in your lane, not being in your passion, not going after your joy in spite of whatever's in front of you. Like turning down those things that bring immediate gratification. Like we need to play the long game. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Remember, man, that we need to be serving our gifts in a way that pleases God to his people. And everything will be all right. I'll holler.